the King and Doc podcast, late night edition. It's your man, the Blood Doctor, coming to you with my man King Hooley. What is up, Hooley? How you doing this Tuesday night, man?
Let's go, man. It's Tuesday. I just had my shower. I feel well rested. I feel ready to take on this podcast and then go to bed because I gotta get up and go to work in the morning.
That's the beautiful thing of actually doing a show late night instead of most late night shows that record at 3:30 in the afternoon. You can actually relax when it's done. It's the beautiful thing.
It's definitely
true
my time
late night show.
That's why I'm up late all the time. So what's better? What else is better to do than make a podcast with your boy?
That's what I'm saying, man. It is the purview of the father of a toddler to be up late and do his own thing. That is what we do. As toddler parents, we are up late and we create new hours for ourselves.
Hey, shout out to the Treehouse Ben is in the house. What's up, my boy? What's going on?
How is it going, brother? How's it doing, man? It is always good late night on Tuesdays. I gotta say, this is what it is now, man. Late night Tuesdays. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to do this. I have a surge of energy that comes at like 10:30. I'm like already.
Right, I'm ready to do this.
Here we go. Let's do this.
How was your Tuesday?
Oh, well, work, life, insanity, chilling. Exactly. That's a perfect way to describe it. How was your Tuesday, man?
Tuesday was cool, man. I did some work, had a barbecue at one of my facilities over in Santa Ana, and then came home and Brandon had a T-ball game, which was a complete shit show. But what do you expect 5-year-olds to do? You know what I'm saying? So that was fun. And then came back here, got stuff ready for this show, man. I had a nap. I what I'm saying, did some things.
It's a supremium day anytime that a nap is involved in the play. Then everything went well. Everything was planned correctly. Anytime you can get sleep in the middle of a goddamn day.
It's crazy how much you used to hate, say taking a nap back in the day. But now taking a nap is king. It's like that shit.
I live for it.
Yeah.
Like, what do I need to do to sleep from like 11:30 to 2:30? Just like 3 hours. Don't no one needs to just give me a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day. No lunch break, just a 3-hour nap. That's all I need.
3-hour nap. Yeah, that sounds like a good,
completely reasonable.
Yeah. You watch any basketball?
Man, we got one good game and one not so good game.
One not so good game.
And man, I don't know. I got a lot of thoughts. What are your you tell me? What were you thinking with these games, with the playing games after the day?
It's the playoff time. It's the play-in. You kind of, this is that point in the season where we started to see really good basketball. But with the play-in, you got the teams that's fighting to get there. I think tonight the Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks played tonight, and then you had Golden State and the Memphis Grizzlies locking up as well. We're gonna talk about both of them, obviously. Might as well get started right now and talk about the Golden State, the play again. Go to the Orlando Magic defeating the Atlanta Hawks 120-95. This was the not so good game. Highlighted by I don't understand like what happened with Trae Young and how he got ejected. I think the first tech was crazy. The second tech he definitely earned, but the first tech was no reason for him to get, because he nutmegged the guy going down the court and laid it in. They give him a technical. I mean, they're already down. Like, why give him a tech?
Yeah, that shit is soft. But I mean, what do we expect here? This is the Hawks, man.
Right.
Every single year, it's exactly the same bullshit. It's like, there's they win 40-ish games. Maybe they're a little over 500. Maybe they're a little 500. And then, they go do some shit in the play-in and it's whatever. The only reason the Magic were here were because, Jalen Suggs suffers an injury mid-season that really hurts what they were doing. And that's after, Banchero and Wagner had also missed time. They're a legitimate team. But, this Hawks team is, whatever. And I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, Trae Young getting ejected certainly had something to do with it, but it's also like, we've seen this shit a million times. Trae
Right.
Young's done some cool shit in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know how long the Hawks continue to just do this kind of same we're middle of the road always shit. Like they've done it forever. There's got to be a point where, and listen, they're working in the number 1 overall pick. I understand that. I also think that, like, how long are you going to pin the Trae Young centric offense is like, you're here because it's whatever. I don't know, man. When I watch the Hawks, I just feel, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I know exactly what's going to happen. Trae Young's going to have a few games where he scores 40 and has 10 and it's going to be amazing. And, the rest of the season's going to be whatever. And I like Young. I'm not trying to hate on him. I don't know that the Hawks have any concept of how to optimize him. And if someone does, I don't think they're in the Atlanta organization. And we've watched this same shit play out over and over. And I don't know. I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah. I think it's just like the East being so weak this season is how both of these teams like snuck in. I think Orlando should have been up there a little bit higher, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Private Proper Sports just checked in, saying good morning. Wow, we got East Coast viewer.
There you go.
There we go. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, saying staying up to 2 a.m. So check it out, the King and Doc podcast.
That is late night. Thank you. That is how you know it's a real late night show, when people are checking in at 2 a.m. You gotta
say good morning. You know what I'm saying? But like I said,
break out the muffins and OJ. It's breakfast time.
For sure. But Atlanta, man, I don't see what's going to happen with them. I think they play the winner of the Heat and the Bulls game that's tomorrow night, but they'll play them which probably will be Saturday. They'll play them or something like that. Friday, they'll play them in that play-in. As a Heat fan, dude, I kind of want the Bulls to win because I'm just over. I'm completely over the Heat this season. I'm just ready for it to be over.
Man, listen.
Ready for it to be over.
Of all the fans of a team to feel that way, the Heat are the one team that made a run from the play-in to the finals. Like you should want that. You should want that moment. But no, I feel you, man. I mean, no Jimmy Butler. That's not happening. It's
2:07.
I mean, 2:07 a.m., baby. You gotta love it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
That's muffins and OJ time for me. I'm waking up.
For sure.
I'm pouring my face in a bowl of water or ice water, whatever the hell that dude did in that fucking video. I mean, listen. The thing about the East, we know it's weak, it's whatever. The play-in, therefore, becomes sort of this. It's like, who wants the right to be smashed by Boston?
That's crazy to hate the Heat back then. You can't spell hate without heat. Or heat without hate. It is what it is.
Either way.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I'm just saying, the bottom of the East, the play-in is whatever at this point. It's like, some of these teams are so bad, you're playing for the right to get smashed by Cleveland or Boston, whatever.
Right.
We know where this is going. And this season is doubly worse because Philadelphia was supposed to be, the East was supposed to have like 4 really good teams.
Right.
And now Philadelphia falls apart. And now Dame Lillard has blood clots. And it's just like, all right, so we have 2 teams in the East.
Yeah.
And, maybe the Knicks,
the Knicks are excited for basketball. I think they would get one playoff. I love it when they're in because, like, the NBA is so much better when they're in the playoffs.
Basketball is better when the Knicks are good. Yeah. Basketball
Knicks
is better
fans
when the Knicks are good.
make it better, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just one series getting in because they become obnoxious after anything after one series.
They don't have that thing against the Pistons locked up, dude. That is not a guaranteed series win. Like I know I was watching on Truth Be Told, and everybody was like, the Knicks are gonna roll the Pistons, man.
You don't think so?
Man, listen, I'm not saying the Pistons are gonna win that series.
haven't enjoyed watching the Knicks play in like years. But
Yeah,
I've really enjoyed watching them this season.
I
But
I
I don't think they're good enough to
wholeheartedly
beat
agree.
Boston. I don't think they're good enough to stand up against, saying Cleveland. Cleveland was really stacked. But like I said, give them one playoff series.
I'm just saying Cade Cunningham is the best player in that series.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm just saying, and I know what that means, and I know how that sounds like, and I understand all of those things. Nobody, despite the Pistons' good season, nobody is watching Cade Cunningham play. And this dude is so fucking good.
Yeah,
and he is about to show it on the playoff stage. And whether or not they pull off the upset, I don't know. But I think we are going to get at least one like classic playoff game at MSG with Cade Cunningham doing the thing where the opposing player comes in and puts on a show at the Garden. I think that's.
Dude, I would hate to play for the Knicks. I would hate to play for the Knicks because every home game, someone's gunning for your head.
That's all I'm saying, man. It's the greatest place to play basketball, and I just think we're gonna get some Cade games. But yeah, this Magic Hawks game, who fucking cares?
Yeah. The Magic go on and they're gonna play the Celtics on Sunday. Starting Sunday with the playoff run. What do you think about this series?
Their asses fucking. This series is not a series. The Magic are gonna get their fucking asses handed to them.
What do you think? Sweep?
This is a sweep. This is 4-0. This is not the Magic are not ready. They don't have a point guard. They don't have offensive structure. They need a couple of things. They're 2 steps away, and Boston is out to defend the title. And they didn't get the number 1 seed, and everyone's talking about the Knicks, and everyone's talking about Cleveland, and Boston's going to make a statement, and they're going to beat the shit out of Orlando. So yeah,
I agree with you. I don't just watching Orlando play tonight. There's no way that Boston will. I mean, there's no way they can hold a candle to the Celtics right now.
Not a chance. They do not have anywhere near the shooting to even be anywhere in this series. It's not a chance.
That would be a sweep. Definitely a sweep. There was a game that just ended. Pretty good game. The other play-in game that was tonight. The Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies, with the Warriors taking the victory 121-116. Lot better game. Better game. Ja Morant's injury.
Still 120 from one team, but 95 is a little worse than 116. So.
What'd you think about this game?
I mean, look, I think that both these teams are obviously shells of what they once were, and I think that you saw in this game what we've seen all throughout the year with the Grizzlies, especially in the second half, is a complete inability to close against good teams, and that Golden State just has better depth, and I mean the Jimmy Butler fit has been awesome, and it's I know he got hurt at the end of the previous game and everything, but it's just everything has gone so well. And I know they blew the previous game when Draymond blew the layup and everything, but again, I just think I think if you take the Warriors like last 2 months and you kind of ignore everything that happened before that, and I know that you can't do that, but I'm just saying if you look at how well they've been playing lately, they're not like 7 seed. They're better than that. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how these things go, because I do think this Warriors team really does have something in them. And I think that, the Grizzlies, I mean, fine, they lost by 5, whatever, but it's the same thing that we've seen from them all the time lately. They can't beat teams that are above 500. Just, it doesn't matter how they lose 5 points, 20 points, 15 points, last second shot. They're not going to close the game ever. And it's the same thing here.
Right. So they're going to go on to play the winner of the Dallas Mavericks and the Sacramento Kings game. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, that's a giant who cares bowl.
That one is too, as well, for sure.
The race for the 8th seed is in the West is garbage, just like these. It's they're
going to get mollywopped.
Well, and the hope is that the league is so good and there's so much parity that the play-in games are really good, but ultimately you're getting like really injured teams and all these other things. And maybe with better run organizations and all these
Mhm.
things, you could use the play-in in a certain way, but it's just creating more games that are kind of whatever. We've had good play-in games this year. Maybe next year. Maybe next
Maybe
year.
next year. The Warriors winning this game, they will take on the Houston Rockets. What do you think about this series?
This is an interesting series, man. I mean, the Rockets just beat the shit out of the Warriors the other day. It was the famous Ime Udoka talking about Steph Curry crying game.
Mhm.
I mean, the Rockets have so many really good young defenders, but I mean, we're talking about a battle-tested Warriors team that's added Jimmy Butler and, a really young Rockets team. Wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets pulled off the upset. I think this is a 7-game series, but
Mhm.
I'm going to give the edge to Steph Curry
The
with Jimmy
experience,
Butler and Draymond until further notice.
right? I mean,
What do you think?
I don't think Draymond will be that much of a problem, that much of an issue, honestly. Um, as much as God, it's like the old man versus the young man. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It's like
very, very,
the
very
old guard,
truly.
yeah, the very very old guys versus the very very young guys, like the diaper dandies versus like the people who are about to retire.
And this is the changing of the guard series or whatever, and it's possible that the Rockets do pull it off.
Mhm.
There's no question that can be done, but I've watched, again, I've watched this story a million times, and until I see that Draymond and Jimmy Butler are both not completely capable on their own of controlling a
Mhm.
defense,
Mhm.
and now they've got two of those dudes, like I don't know, man. I still think the Warriors are going to win this series. I think that we
Right.
could see the Rockets next year maybe move forward, but
I, I
I
I'm
don't know,
I'm
man. This
gonna agree
Warriors
with
team
you. I
is
think they're
good
just
lately.
a little bit too young. They're not quite ready yet. You know what I'm saying? I feel this and crazy. I feel the same way about OKC as well. Even with
What?
SGA playing the way he is, I just don't feel like they have enough experience yet, man. They even looking at them, they look young. Like, what are
It's
you doing
true.
here?
I mean, but we say that about every team until they break through and win. But I would just
Right.
say about the Rockets, like their defense is incredible, and there's no question. But when things slow down and you get into the grind of the
Mm,
playoffs, and they're going to be good on the defensive side of the ball in that. But when you
right.
can't run nearly as much, where is the playmaking going to come from when the first action breaks down? Because what happens in the playoffs is older dudes get better because the game slows down a little bit and
Mhm.
the mind becomes more important, and everyone shuts down your first action because they know what you're doing, and you have to get into your secondary and tertiary actions, and that's where the kids break down, and that's where the kids make mistakes. And I just think there's enough kind of crafty veteran bullshit still going on with the Warriors that they'll get
Mhm.
it done.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I'm taking the Warriors. I'll take the Warriors in 6 games.
I say
I give
7. I'll
Houston
stick
2.
with 7.
You think it's 7?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great series. Yeah, I do.
Okay, right on.
But
So
I
I'll
think
take
the
I'll take
Warriors
the
will get it
Warriors at
done.
6 then. I'll take the Warriors.
Classic Steph Game 7 kind of shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I like to see Steph take over, man. I
It's
like to
fun.
watch it take. Like he took over this game tonight, like just a little bit, and just when he does it is spectacular.
The Team USA was, the ultimate moment. And, he basically delivered the gold medal. Like
Yeah,
that was badass.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right over you, Wimby.
that was pure
Like
Steph.
just amazing. Just amazing.
Truly,
Um,
man.
just so you guys know, like, we talk a lot of sports here, but we also do other things. Like we watch movies and shit too, right? And I just saw a movie the other night. You watched a movie the other night. Uh, what was the movie you went to go see?
The Amateur.
The Amateur. How was the Amateur? Was it
It was
just
good, man. I
good?
enjoyed that
Not
shit. Yeah.
not yet. I went to go check out the Minecraft movie, man. A lot of people, since the popular movie, of the which I guess would be of the spring, one of the hottest movies leading to the summer. From what I understand, it's made a lot of money at the box office so far. But it's something you take your kids to. You know what I'm saying? But just because what I'm saying, like I said, we talk sports, a lot, but we do other things, man. The King of Dot podcast, we are also movie reviewers. You know what I'm saying? We do it all.
Siskel and Ebert, watch out in 1995 because we're coming for you, motherfucker.
We're coming for you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna gas up a DeLorean. We coming. I'm smacking Ebert. Which one was the big one? You can take him.
1.21 gigawatts, baby. Let's do this.
Let's go. Let's get it. All right. So Minecraft was if you don't know, it's based off the video game. I've never played the video game ever before. But there's a lot of little nuances in there that, I had my nephew and my niece with me when we went, and they were just talking about it the entire time. Just, and this, because they play Minecraft. And then there was a part of the, what was it, the chicken jockey? I've never heard that before, but that was a big thing. Yeah, it was a big thing because apparently at that scene in the movie where they were fighting, and then chicken jockey comes out, so everyone says chicken jockey. People threw popcorn. What else? Like sodas. It was crazy. It was weird, like for people to do that. And it was at a drive-in, so you just saw a bunch of popcorn go in the air, which was weird. But yeah, it was actually really good. It was actually really good. I would definitely. What would I rate it? I would rate it probably. Me, as a 45-year-old man, I would rate it like an 8 out of 10. Only because I don't play Fortnite. I mean, or Fortnite or Minecraft. I didn't know what was going on, but the characters they had in it, hilarious. Jason Momoa, funny as shit.
And that's Jason the line you have to walk. That's the line you have to walk when you make a movie like this. Is like you're gonna have like half the audience who has no fucking clue,
zero clue,
because they've been dragged there by someone else, a child or a spouse,
a 10-year-old.
And so you have to find a way to appeal to those people too, because you can't only, like, of course you want to appeal to the people who play the game and leave Easter eggs and stuff, but you can't only do that,
right?
And so you have to find a way to appeal to both sides. And yeah, I mean, the way this movie's doing in terms of box office, it seems that they were very successful in doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, what I'm saying, it's definitely one of those movies where I probably only watch it once, maybe, or if it comes out on stream and I probably go watch it, I might watch it again, but I don't see myself like turning it on. I barely want to go see this movie as well, but I'm glad I did. It's pretty good, but I probably won't watch it again.
That's
because I'm a 45-year-old man.
Yeah, well, that's fair. So it's an 8 out of 10 on the first watch scale, but not a 8 out of 10 on the rewatchability scale. Then
right. Yeah, I would say rewatchability. I'll give it like a 4.
Oof, okay, all right.
I'll do like a 4. Maybe I might, I might tune into it again. It goes on streaming, and we do like a popcorn night and shit like that. Nothing else. Minecraft.
Meanwhile, the children are like rewatchability 800%.
800%. And all the people who play Minecraft, I'm going back this weekend to go see it.
Yeah, I'm afraid to go see it, if only because of the popcorn throwing shit. I'm like, dude, I don't even want to be in the middle.
I didn't know that was going to happen, but then I was like, why are they throwing popcorn? It was like, oh, it's a thing.
Yeah, what? I bet all the theater workers who have to clean all that shit up.
Oh man,
like, what a cool thing! I mean, in a drive-in, not nearly as big.
Not nearly as bad, but I guess you kind of want to go out there and sweep that shit up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't want just old popcorn floating around essentially would be a parking lot the next morning.
That's how you get ants, baby.
Yeah.
Man, all right. This is an old man show, as we're talking about. You gotta clean up that popcorn so you don't get ants. God damn it.
I don't know.
Bring me my leaf blower.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, but that's my review of Minecraft, the movie.
I like it. I'm gonna have to check that one out with the family for sure, because I know that my son, he sees.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh yeah,
for sure. For sure. Here you go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Let me tell you something.
Let's talk.
The thing about The Amateur, okay? Number one, if you love Lawrence Fishburne, you're going to love this movie because it's classic Lawrence Fishburne badass stuff. And, Rami Malek is awesome, and he brings life to, those sort of quirky characters who they're weird, The thing for me about this movie that I found interesting is, there are certain things that are sort of standardized Hollywood bullshit, that you're kind of used to seeing, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever. But it was a really interesting look at revenge, right? The concept being this dude's wife is murdered and he wants to be the one to kill the people who killed her. Rather than sending someone else after them, he wants to be the one to do it. And he's like a data analyst. And, again, there's certain like cliche things about this movie that you're kind of watching and it's just like, all right, whatever. Like, this is not a film that's going to win any fucking Oscars or, any of that shit. But it's an interesting look at revenge because, you look at John Wick, you look at, the Death Wish, any of the movies that are, classically about revenge, they are sort of about how, revenge ruins you ultimately in the end because it drives you not only to kill, but to be killed and all these things. And this movie approaches the entire thing differently because it has so many sequences where you're questioning the morality of different characters on both sides of the situation. And so the movie is interesting in that it presents certain situations that I hadn't really seen before while using cliches to prop it up. So it's one of those things where had it been done a little better with a little bit more skillful directing and writing, you're looking at something that's incredibly good. But as it is, it's a solid movie that, it's like if you've ever seen Ronin or whatever, it's one of those movies that you'll enjoy. And it's like
I get you.
What I mean? It's like, oh shit, I like that. Yeah. And it's the thing, it's like,
there we go.
You're having a drink and smoking a blunt and this shit's on. You're like, oh, I like this. I'll watch this. I'll watch the second half of this.
I'll watch this.
Yeah. And it's one of those movies. And I think that the interesting thing to me is that there are, there are possibilities of things you can do with this story. And so, again, without saying yes, Treehouse Bandit, my man, you make a really good point. John Bernthal has a small but incredibly effective performance in this film. John Bernthal, who was on Walking Dead, who played the Punisher in the Netflix series. He was in Baby Driver. Yeah, he was in Baby Driver as well. He has a very small part, but he's really effective. And if you ever have seen Glengarry Glen Ross, when Alec Baldwin comes in and gives the speech and then walks off screen, never to be seen again, John Bernthal is really good at those sorts of roles where he comes in and gives you a moment. And I would actually argue that John Bernthal is actually the best actor in this film in terms, Lawrence Fishburne's a better actor, but I just mean the actual performance given. The couple of scenes that he's in are so good and so effective that he feels greater than, he actually is in terms of screen time. So this is very worth watching though. Like I would give it a 7, but I would also give it a 7 on rewatchability. So like we're talking about like, it's just always going to be enjoyable. It's never going to be the best movie, but it's going to put you in a good mood.
Right. Okay. So if I were just passing through, let's say TBS in like 5 years, because this movie will be on TV. It's played back-to-back weekends. Would I stop? Because there's only a few movies that I know that I will stop and just pick up wherever it is in the middle of the movie. I don't care where it is. I will just pick it up and start watching it. Scarface, The Sandlot are two of those movies.
Here's the rating I can give you. If it was 11 p.m. and I was in a hotel room and I had been drinking and gambling all day and it was time to chill and relax for the evening and I came across this movie, I'd be like, oh shit, we're going to have a good time. That's how I would rate this. This is right on. This is hotel entertainment. And I think everyone knows what I mean. You know what it is because at home there's so many shows. Yeah. And you can't even I can't figure out what to watch. And then you're in a hotel room and it's half of a movie you've seen before. You're like, oh shit, this is amazing. And this is an oh shit, this is amazing in a hotel room situation kind of movie. It's entertaining. So
bro, Bullet Train is that movie.
Yes, I love Bullet Train, dude.
Bullet Train was that movie. I went on a cruise. I watched Bullet Train on a cruise. It took me 3 days to watch it.
I saw that movie twice in theaters, dude. I absolutely loved.
It was good.
Loved Bullet Train.
It was good. Like, Bullet Train is another one of those movies that is just how you would explain The Amateur.
Yeah.
Coming in, you know what I'm saying, from either going out or like, you know, spending some time with some friends or something like that, and you kind of a little bit buzzed, you still want to be turned up a little bit. Pass up, flip it through the TV and see Bullet Train. Yeah, I might crack a beer and watch the rest of Bullet Train for the next 5 minutes
Yes.
before
Well,
I pass
dude, I
out.
love that movie. And I will say, I'm absolutely hyped for the F1 movie with Brad Pitt. I'm all about that. Like, I fucking cannot wait to watch that shit. I think it is amazing that F1 is like, we do not care about America. Yeah, we'll put some races in whatever. America's not a big deal to us. You don't really matter. And then they fucking make the F1 movie, and who do they choose is Brad fucking Pitt. Like, of course you do, man. And you know the only reason they chose Brad Pitt is because they could not get Tom Cruise. Because the director of F1 is Joseph Kosinski, who directed Top Gun Maverick and Oblivion, both Tom Cruise movies. And I guarantee you, if Apple had ever been able to secure Tom Cruise, that he would have been the one in the F1 movie. However, he's too busy doing other shit. And so it's Brad Pitt, which I am fine with, because that movie is going to be awesome. If you've seen Oblivion or Top Gun Maverick, you know that Joseph Kosinski. Yeah, and so you know Joseph Kosinski knows how to direct a movie where shit gets blown up. So I'm all about this F1 movie, dude. I'm hyped for that, and we will talk about that shit when it comes out. That's the perfect blend for this show, dude. It's a sports movie. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. That's the mix.
There we go.
That is the mix.
Right. Speaking of sports movies, man.
Speaking of sports movies, baby, I wonder if there's a tie-in.
There is a tie-in to this, because you know we have these sports movies who also have like you know, athletes in these movies, and some of these athletes are kick-ass, right? So this week we have compiled our top 10 list of fictional athletes. Now, what's that mean? Has to be it has to come from a sports movie, not a movie based on a true story, because those people are either based on somebody that's real or real people. So we're not using real athletes or movies that are, you know, like your movies,
nothing biographical
or Pride or whatever. Any sports movie that's based on, you know, real life. We're
with it. We're all about the invented shit.
Right. Exactly. So are we ready? So here are the top 10. Let me get it. Let's see. I'm messing up. Okay, here we go. Here are the top 10 fictional athletes according to the King and Doc. You got number 10, right?
I got number 10, baby. All right. Now this one, listen, this is going to be out of reach for everybody. And again, this does not necessarily hold up, but from the movie Slapshot, it is Reg Dunlop. Now, here's the thing. Again, this movie does not necessarily hold up. There's a lot of humor. It's from the 70s. There's a lot of humor that would not hold up today. Specifically, there's a lot of homophobia. I think, you know, there's just some stuff that really isn't nearly as cool today. Understand. However, it is literally one of the first sports comedies of all time. You've got Paul Newman playing an aging hockey star who, you know, is basically player coach of this team that's kind of falling apart. Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's the thing, is you got a legendary actor playing this character that's in a league that's you know, like an amateur hockey league, but it's still professional, not amateur, just semi-professional. And
right.
You know, these dudes, you got some young dudes who are trying to make it to the NHL. You got this dude who's just trying to stay around. And it's one of the first sports movies ever. And there's a lot of hooligan asshole bullshit that goes on because they're drunken hockey players. But nonetheless, like, Paul Newman has been in some legendary movies and a couple of legendary sports movies. But this is like one of the first real, like, major sports comedies that, like, you know, really started to break through. And so I felt that we had to give some credit to Paul Newman.
To the OG, yeah, I got you.
To the OG. Yeah, I mean, because, you know, there's so many, I mean, like, you know, Color Money, you know, there's so many different things. So but it was just it's a good,
I only know that dude from the salad dressing.
Well, and dude, I feel like someone will kill me because there's probably something I don't remember that's horribly offensive in it. And there, you know, again, if we try to judge everything, by, it's 60 years old. There's a lot of shit in it that's rough, but again, Paul Newman does a great job playing an aging sports star who's trying his best to cling, and he's trying to get his ex-wife back and all these things. And it's just, it's an early version of what we have seen become, a major genre today. So
gotcha. All right, man. So Reg Dunlop from Slapshot, number 10. Number 9. It's gonna go to an immigrant ball player from Cuba, who struggled hitting a curveball. I think he wanted to he practiced a little bit of voodoo. I'm not sure. In the second film, he had to change of heart. He became almost like a Buddhist. I'm only talking about Pedro Serrano. Fuck you, Joe Boo. If you don't hit curveball, I'll do it myself. Pedro, bro. Pedro he was a character in that clubhouse, dude, from the live chicken sacrifices to just, I don't know, stuff he did with the Crisco. It was really weird stuff, but he produced when it was time for them to produce. When the Indians need to become the Windians, they turn to Pedro Serrano. Fuck Rick Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? And Taylor. Pedro was the man. Pedro carried that team.
And he's the only one in all three of them, right?
Yes, he's the one in all three of them.
Because he's in that. Yeah, he's in Back to the Minors, which is the third one as well. Yeah, he's on the minor league team too. Yeah. Well, actually, I think Corbin Burnson, he plays the GM in the third one. But yeah, but dude, Pedro Serrano is one of the original badasses of sports movies. Like, yeah, his whole character is awesome. It's so funny watching him. The way he
walked in, you're like, saying he just mysterious. You know what I'm saying? He walks up with like a trench coat with no shirt underneath it, bald head,
but the biggest smile. The biggest smile in the world. He's the happiest dude around.
Yeah.
And then, until he's angry and finally just, crushes the shit out of the curveball, which is one of the great moments.
Oh, yeah.
In the Major League Series. The only moment that might beat that is, strike this motherfucker out, which is just one of the great all-time moments of everything. But, that's an argument for debate. Do you like a strikeout or a home run? Make your choice. But classic series.
Home run, dude. Home run all day. Who you got with number 8?
Ooh, number 8. So this one is one that I think people would put in the kind of questionable one, but I don't think so. I'm going with it. And that is Peter LaFleur from Dodgeball. And that is, of course, Vince Vaughn. And the thing is, man, listen, this movie is a sports movie. They go to a tournament. Mm-hmm. They compete. It's a dumbass sport, but it is nonetheless aired on ESPN Ocho. ESPN Ocho, and therefore it counts. No, but the thing is, like, this movie, I mean, everyone, like, who doesn't quote this movie? It's, it's a comedic classic. It's something, it's got a lot of, people that we all love from, kind of the 2000s to 2010s era of comedy.
Oh, yeah. It's everybody. Ben Stiller, Justin Long, Vince Vaughn, obviously.
Gary Cole. Yeah, there's a million people, and even in tertiary roles, and it's just Rip Torn. Like, there's just so many people.
There's so many. Oh my God, Rip Torn is hilarious. You dodge a wrench, you can dodge the ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing about these movies that they did. This one, old school, all those things, is the number of people that you're able to get contribute just a little bit takes everything to that next level. When even your bit players are great actors. And, the whole, I mean, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him. And it paid off really well.
Dude, like, money, baby. Let's just say, like, this movie helped create, like, make ESPN Ocho a thing to where they're playing obscure sports on random ass weekends. You see a cornhole tournament. You'll see people curling that's not even in the Olympics at that point in time. You see a whole bunch of, like, just random. Like, how is this, or why is this a sport that I'm watching right now on a Saturday afternoon? This is crazy.
Yeah, and there are just certain movies that become like part of the cultural zeitgeist, and this movie's fucking one of them. And I just,
I didn't like the fact that Pete, almost dipped out on the team, bro. That's the only.
Well, hey,
That's the
listen.
only thing, and that's probably why he's at number 8 because he did
That's
that.
why he's at number 8. Because when you quit on your teammates, we're not having it. But hey, you come back in the end to save the day. I'm gonna forgive it,
dude. Yeah, the way he played, White, he was great. So what I'm saying, he probably won the battle, but like he won the war. You know what I mean? So it's what it is. Good shit. Number 7. Number 7 is the one man code. He's the only man catching it, only man coming down with it. He is Clifford Franklin, the formerly terrible wide receiver. They always did this to the receivers in these comedy movies, so these sports movies, whatever. They have like the black receiver that's really fast, just can't fucking catch. You remember that's Sarah Ruffin's old stone hands? Fast dude, very fast dude, just couldn't catch. Little Giants. Little receiver. As shit, can't fucking catch. Same thing with Clifford Franklin. But the difference between Clifford Franklin and those two guys, he didn't wait to the last game to learn how to catch. He learned how to catch around the middle of the season and became an intricate part of the Washington Sentinels.
Man, this movie is classic. Like this is one of those ones that gets forgotten. And again, Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman, another movie that so many great people. And this is one of my favorite Keanu Reeves movies. Honestly, dude, he fits this player well. This sort of like the college quarterback who doesn't give a shit anymore. He kind of is like Jake Plummer, like just like I don't give a fuck anymore. Like I did my time. Yeah, now I'm gonna go disappear on a boat.
Someone has to come find you. You're the only team. You're the only person that can lead this team.
Yeah, yeah. I love. Well, the funny thing about it is that like they really did this before. They got like replacement players from colleges and shit. But it's just so funny the way this movie, sort of portrays it. Like it's a sports movie. It's ridiculous and it's great.
Right.
This is one of
Franklin,
Gene
bro.
Hackman's.
Like this. I love the fact that how much shit he talked. You know what I'm saying? And it's one man code. Saying only man catching, only man coming down with it. The right before the last what was like during the last game when they realized like, hey, we don't have nothing else to play for. Clifford Flake's about to find himself a new hoe. That dude looked at him, and then he's like. They start kicking the crap out of the other team.
Man, Orlando is underrated, dude.
Yeah. Orlando. He was a 7-Up yours guy.
Yeah. I mean, just in general, like I don't feel like Orlando Jones gets his due as an actor. He's been so good in so many things.
He sure has.
And he just kind of doesn't because his starring movies never quite took off. I feel like people don't give him the credit he deserves, man. He's good.
For sure. What you got number 6?
Yo, number 6. So again, we're getting into it again with this one, yo. So I mean this one is at least more sports. It's Jesus Shuttlesworth from He Got Game. Now, this movie was pretty fucking controversial when it came out. But the reason I chose this is number one, Ray Allen acting in a film and doing a really good job. And, as an actor portraying the character that he was, I mean, this is an NBA player at this point,
right?
Playing, a college recruit and in a believable way. And, this was probably, there were kind of a slew of movies in the 90s and early 2000s that sort of tried to tell ways of, how college basketball really was. There's like Blue Chips and stuff like that.
Blue Chips was a good one. Yeah.
But, the thing about Blue Chips is that was more about players being paid. And this movie was more about how Black men are taken advantage of by the state and by the universities themselves. And so while a lot of those movies sort of address like financial things and whatever was going on to the table, ultimately it's like, yeah, we support players being paid. So like, what the fuck ever. Yeah. This movie is really a look at how, and his father's like due to be executed, and they are like, we won't execute him if you go to this college, and
right,
there's all these things, and it's Denzel and Ray Allen. It's a very good movie. It's a Spike Lee movie, but there's a lot of like, it's a dark movie. It's dark, man. It's
Yeah, it is a
this is
really
not a
dark
feel good
movie.
movie.
It is a really dark movie because you find out that why he had. Well, first off, why Denzel's in jail. Why Jesus has so much resentment towards his father. Um, them battling, each other for I guess that respect, Denzel's still trying to be a father and like I'm still your dad, even though I killed your mom and that was an accident. I'm doing my time. You shouldn't hold that against me, type thing.
Right.
But I get where he's coming from because he's basically raising him and his himself and his sister with the help of the uncle and the aunt that live in the same building, whatever. But I can see the resentment. Like everything's changed because of him. Now he's the guy. He's the man. Basketball is gonna take his family out of the projects and into something else. I even liked how like his uncle, was greasing him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And his girlfriend is like using him because she's dating an agent secretly. And it's a realistic look at what young black kids in the 90s, like, it was the whole thing about, it's like, oh, do you rap or do you play basketball? Because that's the only way you get out of here. Like, that kind of shit. And it's a look at that culture that was sort of forced on people. And so for me, as a white kid in like the early 2000s, seeing this shit, I was like, it's like mind blowing. I was like, because truthfully, when you grow up in a really white suburb, like I did, like you really don't know about white privilege. I'm not excusing it or whatever. I'm saying that shit has to be like put in front of your fucking face for you to understand it because you're so insulated from reality. And movies like this, to me, were earth shattering because I used to just think of, amateur basketball is this incredible thing, and these kids are just doing it for the love, and you then look at, no, dude, this is like realistically what actually goes on, and this is what people are put through, and the pressure they face from all these forces, and they're 16 years old, and blah blah blah, and there's money, and there's sex, and there's drugs, there's alcohol, and all these things, and it's just mind blowing to see that shit. And this is the kind of stuff that the stories people didn't want to used to tell, and that's what Spike Lee is probably the best at, man. So again, he got game. It's a dark movie, not a feel good movie, not a movie you want to watch if you want to have a good time. But if you wanted to see something, good movie.
Yeah. Number 5, Happy Gilmore from Happy Gilmore. I picked this one because this dude, saying he it's very rare where you find where you try to be good at something and you end up taking you end up taking something else and you kind of translate what you learned from this before into this new sport and end up becoming really good at this new sport. You know what I'm saying? So like it sucks that he was a former hockey player who was trying to break into hockey and try to be, make a name for himself in that. His grandma's house gets taken by the bank, gets seized by the bank, and he has to get this money. Golf. Find out he has, so he can kill the drive by basically, hitting a slap shot on the ball, which sends it far, and becoming really good and wins the tournament, gets his grandma's house back. Essentially, like that, just the drive this guy had.
Are you excited for Happy Gilmore 2?
He's not a good fighter. Not a good fighter.
Bob Barker
whooped his ass.
But are you excited for Happy Gilmore 2?
Yes, I am. I'm also excited for The Waterboy 2. It was just shooting not too far from here.
They made The Waterboy. I did not know that. I did. Yes. That one I actually did not know was happening.
So it's crazy. It's like it was being shot. Where they were doing the shooting is the same place where they shot Grease 2. And it was another movie that was shot over there. But it's the adult school here in Norwalk.
That's one of my favorite things about living in Long Beach is we love that show Dexter. And the whole thing was shot in our neighborhood in Long Beach. So anytime we watch that show, we can like see our apartment building. We see our donut shop. We see I see all our shit all the time because it was.
Dude, like every time I see a movie with LA and I'm pointing shit out.
Yeah. I'm not annoying, dude. I'm like, I went there. I know that.
I know that place.
The same shit with Toronto.
I know that place. Okay. Number 4.
Again, might be controversial, but I don't think so. Joe Cooper from Basketball. This movie, again, The thing about basketball that's funny is the game itself was real. There was this dude who invented the game, and it actually like became a thing in this neighborhood, and like a couple of channels like came to like televise their like neighborhood game. It was like a whole thing.
Way.
But the dude ended up writing a movie, and it's a fictitious thing. It's not based on anything. Obviously, basketball is ridiculous. It's very funny too because obviously it stars Trey Parker and Matt Stone from South Park, and everyone erroneously believes that they wrote the movie, but they did not. He just asked them to star in it for some reason, and they did. And it's one of the most ridiculous movies ever. It makes like 6% sense. It's completely absurd. It's bullshit. It's complete nonsense, and it's hilarious. And that, you know, it's again, this is not a movie that it takes itself seriously. And the funny thing is that Trey Parker actually does such a good job of playing the straight man in this completely absurd world where this sport that would never occur happens. And he plays a character so unbelievably fucking dumb that he doesn't see all the shit going on in front of him. And he plays it so well. And it's an underrated movie. And I fucking love basketball. And yes, the donuts were bomb from the donut shop in Dexter. That place was really fucking good. And but yeah, dude, basketball, seriously classic movie.
Hell yeah. Number 3, gotta give it to him, man. Because I resonate with this guy. Actually, I was this guy. I feel like we had the same passion for this sport. Benny the Jet Rodriguez from the Sandlot, bro. This dude was underrated, in my opinion, underrated. He should have been number 1. I don't know why I didn't put him at number 1, but I think I panicked. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, if the blood doctor don't put him on this list, I got to do so. I got to throw him on here fast. But yeah, this is the passion. It reminded me, like I said, it reminds me of me growing up. I loved playing baseball, like, you know, so I would get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and walk around my neighborhood finding 9 guys. It didn't matter who it was, and we were going to go to the other neighborhood and play their 9 guys. So it didn't matter to me who we played. If it was 9, I didn't give a shit. We have 9. Let's go to the neighborhood. Let's go kick some ass. And we play baseball all day.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Sandlot is like, I mean, it's just the most. I mean, there's some classic baseball movies, but at least as far as kids, sports movies go,
yeah.
I mean, it's like this and Little Giants is pretty much the only 2, man. And like, I mean, the Sandlot, it because of the way it ends with, you see like the way the Jet grew up and everything. Like, it's like a cool, like, a nod to the future, whatever. And like, yeah, dude, like I played baseball as a kid too, and this movie was like, I mean, this was everything. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah. Like I watch this shit all the time. Yeah, this is one of those movies that we watch like all the time, and it really is like, I do feel there's a little bit of loss. Like, you and me grew up in a country that like loved baseball.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's lost a little bit.
It is.
We don't love baseball in the way that we used to. And I noticed that sometimes, like in movies like this, where like a big part of like you and me grew up playing baseball. We watch movies with people that we idolize playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And, then there's on television is the home run chase going on. Like, this country loved baseball at one point, and we've lost that. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that, but this movie was a representation of that shit to me.
Oh, for sure. It's bad. It definitely told a tale of a time definitely before you and I, but I can imagine our fathers running around like saying that with their friends like this, like trying to play baseball. Cool. Yeah. Little I would say a little known fact, but a cool fact that I guess I'm probably late to it. But you remember at the end of the game, you kind of alluded to it, the end of the movie where he's playing, where Benny grows up and he's playing with the Dodgers. The actor was actually his brother.
Yeah.
Was his older brother. Because I was like, damn, they did good.
Yeah, those dudes look
He
alike,
looks
man.
he looks just like him. You know what I'm saying? But found out it was his older brother. They
Yeah,
casted his older brother to play him.
yeah, it's
I mean,
smart,
even
man.
for the mannerisms and everything, they had the same mannerisms and I'm like, yo, they really. I mean, did they hire a guy who looked just like him just to follow him around, follow Billy Jet Rodriguez around to get his mannerisms right? Because he was only in for like a little bit of the last scene of the movie. So
Yeah, the only thing that was different is his mustache was filled in.
right, that's pretty much. I was like, is this makeup? Did they age him? He was like
That's some
13.
good CGI, man.
That's some really good CGI. Wow, this dude. Is that a 5 o'clock shadow? How they give that? How they give him that?
It is. I always do remember being like, damn, it looks just like him. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, makes sense now. Makes sense. I was amazed that was his brother. Number 2.
All right, number 2. Now this one is ultimate classic, top tier, one of the great all-time ones, and that is Rod Tidwell from Jerry Maguire, Cuba Gooding Jr. Show me the money. The classic line. I want you to show me the money, Jerry. Can you say it with me now? Show me the money. I love that movie. I love this scene, and I love the character of Rod Tidwell because he's a genuine dude. He sticks with his agent when everyone else leaves him. He and also, he castigates and chastises Jerry Maguire for like not actually loving his wife and like says like, you don't take her seriously, you don't cherish her, you don't, my wife is my best friend, you don't, he puts it to him and makes Tom Cruise's character realize that he's not like doing the right stuff and all these things, blah, blah, but he's like a very genuine character while trying to, get noticed for being a receiver with a shit quarterback, all this stuff, blah, blah. Jerry Maguire is a really good sports movie. It's a classic, I think a really good look at how that shit goes for people who know nothing about it. Maybe in the 90s, like, for real, but I mean, dude, it's Cuba and Tom Cruise, like, yeah.
Oh, that's prime 90s right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more 90s now. And Renee Zellweger. I mean, we're like literally,
who can fit, that? Forget that face.
And so this is at her absolute peak. So this is 1995 in a nutshell. And man, I love this movie. I really do. This one I
always thought this movie was really good. Watch it. I think the watchability for me was probably like kind of low on the low end. But every time I watch it, I always laugh. I always thought this movie. I mean, I was like, man, this movie. It's like, man, that was a really good movie.
I'm like a certified.
I shit on it, but that was a really good movie.
I have a certified Tom Cruise man crush, so I can't even lie. Like that's always going to be everything he does. I'm always going to think it's a home run. But this is a movie where that's like I love what. By him. Yeah, he's about to stand by your man. Goddamn right, baby. But you know what? I will say this is I felt like Cuba played the diva wide receiver really well. Yeah.
Yes.
Before the diva wide receiver was even a thing we talked about a lot, I felt like he brought that to life. So, I feel like Chad Johnson took his persona from Rod Tidwell. So,
possibly. Right. Rod Tidwell was a homegrown guy, right? He was with the Arizona State, played with the Cardinals.
Yeah, he was an Arizona dude. Yeah, he's from, and he had cracks in his house, Jerry. Why I got cracks in my foundation, Jerry? I'm all pro, baby. Fucking love that movie. All right, number 1, man. Number
one. I think this guy is everything that people like Gardner Minshew, people like Quinn Ewers from Texas, people like you know what I'm saying? Dude's a freaking rock star, man. I'm only talking about one guy, Kenny motherfucking Powers. For the rock star pitcher for the fictional Atlanta team in Eastbound and Down.
You're fucking
this guy tried so hard to get back, but couldn't. I guess it's like the attitude. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't. Times were changing, and he kind of tried to stick up to that old one. He reminded me of, and I hate saying it this way, but if John Rocker was any good, wasn't a racist, he would be Kenny Powers.
You want to know something?
What?
John Rocker is the basis for this character.
Yeah.
he actually is the basis for this character.
I knew it.
It's not that it's like based on his life or whatever.
No
but
way.
That whole story when he like, you know, pitched the one game and then went on television and said all that crazy shit, that was kind of the impetus for this show, actually.
No way.
You are dead on. You are dead on.
I knew it this whole time. After the first episode, I was like, why does this remind me of John Rocker? I almost stopped watching it because of that, because, you know, he said a bunch of racist shit about people in New York, and he, you know, they're throwing batteries at me. And empty beer cans. Hell no, they weren't doing that. You know how much you know how expensive the beers are? It was an empty beer can. That was probably
maybe an empty beer can. Yo, oh my god,
you want to throw no beer bottles, bro? You tripping,
man?
But no, this whole series was really good, man. Like I said, I watched the first episode. It reminded me so much of John Rocker, and I didn't like him. But what's his name? McBride. He is so funny. And there were so many different cameos in there. I liked what Will Ferrell came in. Was, you know, said will make his cameos in this movie, in that show. Yeah, Kitty Powers, man, number one.
Danny McBride.
It's crazy. That's crazy. I had a feeling this whole time. It was like, it's just giving me John Rocker every time I watch this fucking shit, and I don't want to watch this shit no more. But this fucker is funny as hell.
He specifically mentioned that whole incident as we're like, well, what if this? And they kind of went from there. And it's obviously not based on John Rocker per se. It's just a similar sort of idea. But yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes
Danny McBride is good at playing that sort of, you know, kind of an everyman version or whatever. Because it's like, you know, you can kind of regular ass dudes can see themselves in him, you know. And I feel like that's one reason that he does so well. It's like, I look at him, I'm like, oh man, if I lost a little weight, I could be Danny McBride. You know what I mean? and then you see a dude like that be hilarious, and he's just like, man, he's just a kind of normal dude. Like, he's not, you know, Brad Pitt or whatever. Like, I feel like people love that shit when you see like a regular ass dude and like you said, he's just funny, and you know,
he's hilarious. Everything, like even in Tropic Thunder, he was hilarious. I'm like, dude, why would you blow that up? You know, you're the reason that caused the budget to go up. In Tropic Thunder is blowing everything up in there.
You know who else was great in Tropic Thunder?
Who was that?
Tom Cruise.
You really do have a Tom Cruise. You really do. And you know what's crazy? I
literally could not help myself. It was right there. I was like, all right, I have to do it. I have to make the comment. I have to.
I didn't realize that was Tom Cruise until like the end of the movie. Until like when he was dancing at the end, like to Ludacris. Yeah, didn't realize it was Tom Cruise. Like, is that? Like, that's Tom Cruise. Like,
favorite fucking things ever. You are gonna need a fucking UN resolution to stop me from raining hellfire down upon you. Find out who that was.
Oh yeah. So that was our list, people. We know we probably missed a few people. You know what I'm saying? We can give out some honorable mentions to G Baby from Hardball. Who else? Rocky. I guess if you want to put Rocky in there. Clubber Lang.
Rocky, the fact that Rocky didn't make our list of sport,
it's crazy.
But if this show is in Philadelphia, someone just shot a gun in the air. They're angry.
I don't think so, man. You know what's crazy though? No Days of Thunder.
Drunk. No day. Yeah, I mean, listen. You're right. I mean, that's a clear miss on my part. See right there. I mean,
it's okay. This is why we make these lists, man. That's why we do
it's an action movie, not a sports movie. That's what I'm saying.
Days of Thunder? You know, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, well, okay. Number one is Tom Cruise. So I mean, you know.
Okay, number one is Tom Cruise. All right,
dude. Honest to God, no classic movie, but that's why he brought it up for sure.
Next episode, we talk about movies. I'm gonna put a Tom Cruise counter on the screen. How many times does bring up Tom Cruise?
Oh man, what's coming up on Tuesday? Oh man.
Man, we moved back to Monday, so we did a show on this past Monday where we talked about the the first round of the playoffs. So if you haven't yet, go over to
I was watching on
Sports
Instagram
podcast and subscribe and check out that episode. Our next episode will be Monday because we're back on Mondays. Back on our bullshit, baby.
I was watching that show on Instagram, and that's why I saw you guys when we were talking about the Knicks and Pistons, and everyone was like, the Knicks are gonna roll the Pistons. I'm like, man, not sure. I'm just saying. We're gonna see, dude. We're gonna see. It's gonna be interesting.
What's going on with the Blunt Doctor show? What's that
10-hour episode, May 1st? It's coming.
Let's go. I can't wait.
I'm narrowing it down. You're gonna love the topic so much, I promise.
Hell yeah! Oh yeah, I can't wait.
It's gonna be revolutionary.
Let's do it. Hey, but we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to the King and Doc podcast, this late night show, where we try to bring you some comedy, where we try to bring you some entertainment, and we also try to drop you some knowledge to make you learn a couple things, a thing or two about a thing or two here. My man, the Blunt Doctor has his thing going on. That May 1st, he said. May 1st. Can't wait. 10-hour episode. 10-hour episode. Make sure you check out thebluntdoctor.com. Run over to subscribe to us on YouTube, the King and Doc podcast on YouTube. Click that notification bell. That way you're notified when we drop new content. We have a new TikTok, so follow us on TikTok at the King and Doc, and over on Instagram at the King and Doc. I think it's just the King and Doc on Instagram. Gotta learn these handles. It's crazy. You got anything else?
No, man, just excited to start dropping crazy rants on TikTok because I'm gonna start screaming shit at people on the internet.
Yeah, he has the login info. So yeah. So
yeah. If anything, if there are any really, really insane rants, someone got drunk and took over TikTok again. You have to block me out.
It'll be here. But we appreciate you guys again. Come back next Tuesday. Peace. Bro, we got like 5 viewers in that.
Hey, that's getting better.
Hell yeah.
And once we start putting out channel content, more people see it, they'll come on the lives, dude. It'll go well.
Oh wait, what's going on?